it's everybody's turn, but just chill out. Everybody talks.
Do we know who's not going to be here?
I believe Keaton said he wasn't. I
Keenan
thought
had a
earlier.
concert, he said.
Yeah, he had a concert.
All right, guys, we are live. Let's get this started. Welcome to your all's first roundtable of the season. So how this will work is you will have 1 hour, so you'll have till 11:33 to talk, and then we'll go straight to the vote. I will cut you off, and we'll go right to it. If you all stop talking at any point, we will go straight to the vote. So if you don't want to vote, keep talking. At the end of that, I will tell you it's time to vote. You will at production in your prod chat with your vote. Once you vote, it is locked. You cannot change it. So don't be like, oh, actually, I want to do this. It's locked. You ain't changing it. You are welcome after that to talk on here, just not about the vote once you are voting.
What if we pre-voted? Can we still change it?
If you're here, yes, you can.
Okay.
All right. Y'all have 1 hour. Y'all can start talking. Good luck.
Did you pre-vote?
I mean, I'll start. I don't mind starting. Because I love mess. But let me not waste any time because there's a lot to talk about. So, I think this challenge was like really telling. I don't know any of the spreadsheet mess, but like we can get into that. But I guess I will break down this first thing that I noticed that so everyone like originally like kind of was jokingly like, oh, like it's Michael. And I'm like, fuck, like it's not me, but everybody likes to do jokes apparently. And I basically was reading through everyone's comments and stuff, and the one that I think stood out to me was Hale's, because their comment just seemed very like, oh, like you really think that it's Michael? And it's when I was reading it, I'm like, that sounds serious, that doesn't sound. And they have said that it is dry humor, but that's not looking back, it didn't seem like dry humor to me. Like that sounded like a serious thing. And in addition to that, there was a comment that was made when I was in VC, and Hales had said to me, and I don't know who else was there. Maddie joined later, but Hales had said, "Oh, Maddie said that she would vote for you, Michael," and I was like, "Oh, well, let's ask Maddie." So we brought Maddie in, and Maddie was like, "No, I didn't say that." And then I just wanted to see what would happen. So I was like, "Oh, maybe Jess said it," and then Hales jumped right onto the Jess thing and said, "Oh, maybe it was Jess who said it," and maybe this was just an innocent thing, but that whole situation felt like trying to start something. So I just wanted to bring that to the table, Hales. That's it.
Mhm.
That's totally fair. This was totally me jumping into a chat in the middle of my workday, in the middle of their conversation, hearing your name, and I made a total assumption that was wrong. And also, I misread people's jokes as I was not taking people's tone as joking. So I was confused because I thought that people liked you. So I was like, why are you saying him? Like, do you know what I mean? But it came off as
Yeah,
wrong. And then I,
absolutely.
I, I jumped on something that I interpreted wrong. And then when it was brought out in the light, I was like, oh, fuck. I was
Quite
wrong the whole time. Like,
Mhm.
and
And
I
you can
had
honest.
think it's me as well. Like, sorry, I don't want to
Wait,
interrupt.
wait. Let me say something real quick.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't even think we talked about Michael and Nicole. I think it was me, Gluck, and Jess. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe we did, but I don't remember seeing Michael's name in Nicole. Maybe we did. I don't know.
I've never heard Michael's name in any serious contention in any of the conversations that I've had outside of you being trolled in the main chat.
Yeah. And I mean, I troll Michael's ass a lot, so.
And
Although
if so,
I
it's okay. Like, I'll like accept the criticism and we can talk about it. But that's what I was trying to like be like, okay, like the comment that Hales made felt like jumping on that, like bandwagoning a little bit. That's why I brought this up.
but
no,
aren't you the
totally
person who
fair.
made that? Weren't you the person who made that comment in the first place for Hales to jump onto?
I did because I wanted to see if they jumped on it.
Evan says, I think it was failed attempt to gain traction.
Mhm. Yeah. And I don't necessarily think if someone says, I think Melissa is a traitor, Melissa saying that person is a traitor means like, oh, everyone else should say that's suspicious. We all have to talk about each other. So Hales saying your name when everyone else was saying it, you should be looking at the person who started the poll, not Hales.
That person would be Jess. So Jess, you want to,
Well, that's
Wait, what am I being accused of?
not accused of anything, but Michael saying like, "Oh, I thought Hales was a traitor because I scrolled through all the messages and Hales stood out to me." Like, if there were multiple people that said it, you should be suspecting the multiple people, not just Hales.
Did I put Hales on my list?
No, not you. I'm saying to
to
Michael.
me?
And
Well,
I,
the thing is, everyone else's, including the poll, from what I looked, seemed like it was in more of a humorous manner. That was Hales's comment seemed the most serious to me compared to the other
well,
ones.
be that as it may too, I think there's something to say that a lot of the people that were making that joke to say that you were a traitor were people you knew outside of the game. So maybe
Right,
Hales
but
had that same sense of humor and you just don't know
Mhm.
Hales.
Right, but just because I'm not accusing Hales because I don't know Hales, like that had nothing to do with my accusation.
Right.
My accusation had to do with the nature of the comment. That was why.
Sure. Yeah.
Regardless of yeah.
But I
I want to hear
personally
from
don't fault Hales for that.
Mhm.
I want to hear from Jodie because you told us in the main chat that you were waiting until the roundtable to point out your susses. So
Hmm.
I'm curious
We're
as
here.
to who that could be.
Yeah. I've told some of the people beforehand. I think my main suspicion at the moment is Wesley. I feel like at the challenge, especially towards the beginning, when I felt like a lot of people were really working together to say where their turns were and what they were doing. I think it tapered off towards the end, but especially specifically towards the beginning, we had to wait a very long time for three missing slots that ended up
I said
belonging
my
to.
stuff very early. I
Oh,
said
I'm
it
sorry, I
like,
didn't realize I didn't realize I stopped talking.
sorry.
But to finish my statement, the three spots that remained like blank for the longest time were in from what I saw were Caitlin, Allie, and Wesley. And Allie, we found out wasn't even in the chat. That's fine. Caitlin was like, I was working. I was literally in the car on the highway. That's fine. I felt like Wesley was there and yet wasn't like saying. And to me, that just stuck out as suspicious. So that
I
was
was at
my one.
work half checking on my phone.
Hmm.
I
But you
was
were still submitting. Sorry.
I was like submitting. I couldn't type that long. I'm not a very coordinated typer. And I will let you know, I fucking did post where they were. Let's see here. Uh, I said where I posted at let's see here, at like 12 12 12:37 or 3:37 Eastern.
Totally,
Sure.
may I
I
ask a
just,
follow-up question?
please.
So I feel like one of the spots for me, like obviously not everybody has to participate in like whatever strategy is going on at the time. So originally it was sharing who we were taking from and then sharing our suspicions. But I guess my question is why you withheld for so long. I thought that
Mhm.
because you were seemed to be in the chat and didn't express like you didn't understand why it still mattered at that point, and it felt like you were still present in the chat but not responding. And then with the suspicions, I kind of thought when you decided to withhold your three suspicions, like, and everybody can make their own choice, so I'm trying not to read into like someone not doing it the way that some of us
Mhm.
think is working, but I guess I was kind of expecting a more like landmark three or like a more unique position for you to have a specific reason to withhold that until the roundtable. So I'm just wondering what your logic was there.
Mhm. I think for me, the reason why I didn't necessarily want to say who my three was super early was because I didn't want to give those people the opportunity to have like hours upon hours upon hours to build a defense. And then we get to the round table and I end up looking vastly underprepared next to a trader who has like their whole act together because they've had the whole day to think about it. I thought
Uh,
maybe it would be more genuine to hear people's honest answers to like present them on the spot instead of giving them
I
the whole
was
day to
like
think about
half
what
paying
they'd say.
attention at work, so I could not respond quickly. I believe what actually happened is that I was on the phone a bit more than I should be at work at the beginning of the comp. At the time I was
Mhm.
submitting, but I wasn't still reading in depth because I was half paying attention to work. But then like during the challenge more and more, I decided to like get off the phone after I was out. And so when I got back and I got out not long after I submitted the second time. And so when I got back in, like on the like type the second thing, I was on my work break. That's why I could answer that then.
Mhm. Yeah, like it's just I think it was just next to Allie and Caitlin, where Allie and Caitlin were both able, like they had like an immediate reason they could say, and I
I could show
didn't
you my
know.
work schedule if that's proof for you.
No, I believe it. It's just next to them who like had their like they had their like slip hall pass like ready. That not hearing yours until now, I was just like, hmm. And of course, like I think the traders may not have necessarily
I think
known
I mentioned where
that.
I was at work. I was like gonna be at work on at least on call or something, I think.
And
I
for what
mentioned
it's
it in the
worth,
morning.
we were never on call together. So if that happened, I would have no idea. And I've said your name to other people and none of them brought it up to me either. So it could have just fallen in one of those holes. But yeah,
I did mention it in the morning that I was heading to work today. I do
uh,
have a job.
I would have been asleep. So I would.
I'm a little bit surprised that with like this all this suspense to build up like the withholding of information to then be saying that Wesley is your sus when like Wesley has been sussed by several people throughout the day before. It's not really like I thought you were gonna like come out the gate with somebody like crazy that a name had not been mentioned prior to now. And I feel like I don't know if it just doesn't it seems slightly underwhelming to be honest because there was a lot of anticipation and I'm curious as to I understand where your rationale is as far as okay I want to wait till the round table I want to hold my cards close to the vest but when everybody's being
Mhm.
so open and transparent and it's not like anybody's specifically targeting one person in particular people are just giving three names at the top whether it was willingly or unwillingly you seemed unwilling to participate in what the consensus had decided that the faithful need to be doing.
Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily, me not saying my three publicly was not intentionally trying to build up anticipation. So if you were feeling super anticipative of what I was going to say, I'm sorry that I let you down, but I don't think that speaks to my alignment.
But
Like
then why
like
withhold?
because I
I
didn't want
kind
to
of get
give.
it because you could catch people off guard, but I also get the other side. Like those names
Well, like
were
at the
said
same
out
Yeah.
time,
there.
I'm gonna put this up myself. I knew I had heat. It wasn't catching me off guard. I was willing. I
And
was prepared to fight here.
yeah, I mean, based on the conversations I had within the group and on calls mostly, like I'll be straight up. I did say like yesterday on a call with multiple people that Wesley was my top suspect. And the response I heard back from that was, oh, it was, oh, Wesley's not a traitor. He's just not good at games. And that did come from Jamie. And so a lot of people agreed with that. So I was like, oh, wow, no one thinks this. So maybe I just wasn't a part of the conversations where people were throwing heat because I felt like that was a
Mhm.
resounding no. But at the same time, you weren't the only person on my list. And I don't know if I should be saying that now, but like I've talked about my list,
You said
especially
Caitlin,
with
didn't you?
yeah, I said that did I? Yeah, yeah, yeah. My three that I said earlier today was Wesley, Sydney, and Caitlin.
Mhm.
And I didn't present that to the group, but I still feel like it reached people.
I don't think I've heard Sydney. Actually, I think I've seen it, but I haven't heard it too heavily. Maybe we could discuss that. I don't even know.
I'm willing to. The reason
Sure.
I had a little bit of suspicion on Sydney is because throughout the challenge, the first day, there was a lot of people that was on the call. And I think while it's extremely hopeful to say, like, oh, the traders must be the people who are not on the call. So let's throw stuff on Hales, let's throw stuff on Caitlin, let's throw stuff left and right. Realistically, someone who was on that call has to be a trader. And I do think if a trader was acting at 300 IQ, they would be on for a little bit, get themselves immunity, and then dip. And remember thinking specifically around the time when Sydney came on that she was really receptive to the group and who they were targeting. and immediately like started going along with it and then got immunity and went back to work. And
Can
going
I?
to work,
Sorry, can I chime in? I'm not safe. I don't have immunity. I'd never gotten any of the calls. I'm at work from noon EST until 3:30 EST, and then I'm in class from 3:30 EST until 9:30 EST, and I wasn't on any calls in between any of those times because I can't be. I there's a chance you could be thinking of somebody else, but I wasn't on any calls. I wasn't a part of any strategizing. My last three answers were randomized because I was blowing glass and couldn't check my phone to give an answer because like that would be unsafe. And I didn't realize that I needed such a big list. I only submitted like three names, so that was on
yeah.
me.
Well, did
Sid, I
am I
think you
am I
did join a call because I remember you showing me your little medal thingy.
like you weren't there you were only there for like a short amount of time, but I'm fairly
Wasn't
confident you were there at like at least a small portion.
I
I
remember
don't know
I
if I'm
joined a call before I went to work.
yeah, it might have been during the challenge. Like and that's what I mean. Like I'm not hallucinating that, right? Can anyone else verify that she was there at like some point?
I
I
know
re
that I got I know that I got on a call during the day, but it wasn't during the challenge because I literally can't get on a call. I might have popped in for a second and said hi while I was at work, but I know I wasn't a part of any strategy conversations relating to the challenge.
I did I feel like I did mention this yesterday to the group of the people that were on the call and they didn't object to it, but it is possible maybe I have the wrong name down.
I feel like you did join in a challenge because I just remember your little medal thingy.
I don't even know what metal thingy.
Or like you were like working on some circle thing. Like, look at this. I don't remember what it looked like.
I have to confess, I was honestly like a lot more frustrated prior to this conversation. Like, totally, I'll openly admit you were on my suspicion list for not participating in
Mhm.
sharing, and I felt like that was exacerbated. But I felt like a lot of my concerns for why that may be traitorous, where I felt like you were going to come in and like dominate the conversation. We were going to waste a lot of time talking about this new information, whether or not it was novel. I don't really feel like that's happening. So I don't really know what to do with that, frankly because I had a lot of suspicion about like the lack of participation, but also trying to keep in my mind like the way that I'm playing as a faithful isn't the way every faithful has to play. Like somebody doing something different isn't inherently traitorous. So I guess the only
Mhm.
question that still lingers for me is why you were so hesitant and it appeared as though you were unwilling to share your takes. And every time it was brought up, I felt like you were just like, oh, I didn't think it mattered and just kind of dismissed it. I felt like multiple times from multiple people.
Um, well, I do genuinely feel like I was sharing my suspicions. It just wasn't in the main chat. And I do think that there are people here that can speak to that I was sharing who I suspected with them. It just wasn't in main, you know? I mean,
So
if
I was
that
probably the first to say your name today, Jodalie, and a couple other people have said your name as well. So I kind of just want to know, like, why are you not a
hmm.
traitor?
um I'm not a traitor because I feel like the traders are already working overtime to make sure that the group is manipulated to which way they want the group to be facing. And if my crime against humanity is not trying enough to influence people, I feel like that is against course as to what a trader would want. Specifically, you know, I think some of the reactions to what happened in the challenge could be a big dog and pony show. I said with love, I think specifically the way that Gluck reacted to some of the stuff in the challenge was a bit over the top. I think the way that you, Topher, reacted to some of the stuff in the challenge in regards to Jamie was a lot over the top. And I think it is convenient to say, oh, someone who is not providing at my level should go so that me freaking out on Jamie for backstabbing an alliance that wasn't in existence seems normal. So I'm not surprised to hear that from you, but I think we're just playing at like I'm kind of at a walk and I think some people are more at a jog and I get it, you know.
I don't think it's that you're not as outspoken on my level because there's a lot of people that are also quiet that are just like chalked up to inactive. I just don't think that you've taken any sort of side. Um, publicly in stance whatsoever. Now, you did say you feel like there's people that are trying to control the narrative and persuade people to do certain things. What do you feel like? What is that like? Can you elaborate on that?
I think the fact that the whole challenge got gamed to perfection in itself, like I said, I do think a traitor had to have been on that main call and had to have been there for a great deal of time to help control who became immune and who didn't. I'm not entirely sure who benefited from that and who is the traitor from that, but something like that right there is controlling of the narrative. And I think that is one of the examples of like corralling people into one direction that could hurt us.
I also
And
want
that's
to
also kind
say,
of,
oh,
sorry.
well, I also want to come to your defense too that Jodely is telling the truth. There was a call last night while I was at Office Depot, and she was blatantly saying what she was going to do,
Yeah.
and talking about her suspicions and everything like that. I do agree with the fact. I can see why people are dismissive of, well, she didn't send a text. It's like, well, she did have her opinions out there. It's just you weren't on the call. Like, we can't fully be like, well, she's not saying anything to anyone. She was saying stuff to people. There were plenty of people on that call who heard it as well because people were asking me some things as well. I want to say that Maddie was on that call and a few others as well. So I also want to be devil's advocate here where she has been sharing her opinion. It's just it's not in a written text form. Just because she didn't
Oh,
want to send a message and everything like that, she has her reasons and everything like that. But I don't think that that should be something honed in on. That that should be a narrative taken because she has been saying things and contributing to things.
Also,
although
also
I
to
do get
point out
where,
meta defense here, why would the traitor go out of their
Wait, who's
way
saying
to?
my name? You need to give me 2 seconds because I'm dealing with my kid. Hold on.
They were saying, Maddie, you were saying you were on a call with Jodely, not from our
that
understanding.
like that you were present on a call where I had shared my suspicions before the roundtable.
Yeah, I am, and I'm hypocritically coming to your defense here to point out that if you were a traitor, you would not be doing this obvious grandstand to stand out. That seems counterintuitive to like what a traitor would be trying to do. The traitor doesn't want attention on themselves like that.
I mean, I'll be completely honest. I didn't realize it was a grandstand. I didn't realize this
Not
it
a
was like such
grandstand,
a
but like the
negative.
traitor would not want to be someone who
Right.
like is not following blindly in line. The traitor wants to follow blindly in line.
And but back to Sister S's point of like, I think I just came in with a different idea as to how I was going to handle being a faithful, and that I didn't like, I would feel hesitant to put all of my information out in front of the traders. And I recognize that like the majority of the group has a different strategy, but at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's just a different strategy. It's not me being a trader and ooh ah ee. I think the trader would want to blend more and give, a fake three and just to hide under the cover. I just do things a little differently.
Was that also the logic between not sharing the takes then to kind of like let some information be unknown?
Yeah. And I mean, straight up, honestly, for the challenge too, part of the reason why I stopped updating who I was taking from was because they were on the call as well, and I didn't want that to necessarily affect me being immune or not immune. So I was just like, oh, knocks a milk bottle over, no one will notice, and it worked. But like, in the long run, maybe that came across a little bit worse. But yeah, it was just how I thought it was the best way to handle things.
Who's talking about me?
No one accused you of anything, Matt. You're okay.
You're
I hear
good.
my name and I'm getting
Maddie, they were
Maddie,
just saying that you were
then
on a call with Jodely when she was expressing some of her suspicions last night, so they're not coming out for the first time at Roundtable. That's all.
yeah.
Wait,
And
what do I have to do with that?
They were
They
well,
were
saying
because
you
just
were
like
listing
also
people who were witnesses to the
can
fact that this was
can
not new
Oh,
information.
right,
yeah,
because
I
some
mean, I
people,
heard it, but yeah.
yeah, because some people were saying that like, oh, Jodie has kept everything like secret and hasn't talked to anyone. I was just pointing out, no, there are people here that I did talk to. I just didn't talk to the group, and you were one of those people.
Oh, I was ready to fight. I was
No, no, fight for me, not with me.
I was ready to go.
I have something to say.
What? Why are you
Um,
smiling so evilly? What the fuck?
because I heard some news and I just wanted to like bring it to the group's attention, and I'm just gonna explain everything because it might take a little while. So strap in. Get ready for
Oh
some story
boy.
time. And it's all evidence.
Why do you
So
think you eat with that?
A
so
detective solves the case.
I was thinking, and I was originally sus about Zach. I was a little sus about the voting and everything, and Zach and I had our little beef. We talked it out. But I think my real sus is on someone not too many people have talked about. And unfortunately, that is ZZ. I love you, Queen, but I do think you are a traitor.
Oh,
Like I think that Ali protecting you during the whole like call not calling during the when I was sitting there with you and Jodalee on that was sus because Ali was then saying, "Oh, it had gone through the grapevine that Ali had known, but I know about Ali's list as well, so like that could have been a thing too." Um, but that also like that stuck out to me just a little bit. Um, but Ali, you did bring up your little susses on ZZ earlier, so I was like, oh, maybe not, right? And so, but then there was some other news that I heard that I wanted to bring up too, because I was on the ZZ train a little bit, and so, I heard that there was a call with ZZ and Scooter, and they had red lights in their background, and Jamie was there, and it looked like a possible Jamie recruitment or poisoning. So just wanted to bring that to the group, and that there were red lights in both of their backgrounds, and immediately when they go to the main group, they turn those red lights off. So, well, the person who saw it, speak up because I heard this news, and I think it's a little telling.
what? Baby,
What?
if they
Zach, what
if
the
they have
fuck?
the
I don't want
if they
to
have the
like to be sorry, this is my first time talking. Like I like we can look at like the ZZ sus all we want, but I feel like I don't want then like I feel like poisoning like theories can just get crazy. And like at the end of the day, like we won't know unless like a poisoning actually happens. First of all, it honestly could just be a coincidence. Like I'm here, I'll look at the factual things that you have on these people, but like
Mm-hmm.
just the
He
red
said
light.
recruit.
My
I think
lights
it's
are
a
yeah.
I think
also
it's a
Oh,
always
possible
on
recruitment.
red.
recruitment. Why isn't
Anyone who
Jamie's
knows
camera
me
on?
knows, like,
I
I'm
can
literally always in a red fucking bedroom. Like, this isn't like a new thing. Um, and this isn't the first time me and Scooter have matched our lights to be red, literally yesterday, because me and Scooter started talking in night one on the calls. And I think I was in the red room then, and then the next day you were like, I have
yeah.
red lights, I wanted to match you today, and I was like, okay, period. So
It's kind of
that's
funny because like I was literally in the call like I think it was like 10 minutes before this started and I joined them and the lights were red and I was like, why are the reds light? That's sus as hell. But like we were joking about it. I didn't know someone
I
else had
thought it
joined
was
and
a
left.
joke. I didn't take it
Yeah. And
serious.
I
I
don't know who like
also
I
I
literally took a
don't
screenshot to put in my prod
Also,
chat and
why
laugh
would
Was it
you
a
about
have
it.
joke?
ZZ poisoning task? Not everyone has access to a goddamn red light.
I'm literally always in a red light too. Like,
getting
me,
paid.
like,
I'm not saying it's nothing. I'm saying
Why?
why would
Why would it be
like
a poison when Jamie's safe?
or like not even
Yeah.
poisoning or like some
It'd be
conversion
a
or
recruit.
It'd be a recruitment. It'd be a
Yeah,
recruitment.
it'd be a
I
but like if
recruitment.
it's a
Oh,
genuinely
I'll
wish
recruitment
it
or
tell my
was.
source,
conversion,
Jodalee. I'll
why
tell
would
my
the recruitment or
source.
conversion be red light based for prod? Because like not fucking everybody has a red light thing, so like that's
Yeah.
a
But
But
pretty
like,
also
weird thing to make.
but
who's even
like,
telling you this, Michael?
My source, could you please speak up?
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll say it. So I noticed that Scooter and Zizi like went into a private call in the meat locker, and then right after that, Scooter started pinging the people in the attic and was like asking us to go to a bigger call. The only person that joined that call was Jamie. And then I was like, why aren't they coming to this bigger call? This is a little fucking weird, right? So then I popped over there and then I noticed that Scooter and Zizi's lights were both on red. And I was like, what the fuck did I just walk the fuck into? And then once they came over, Scooter's light was not on red anymore. And then
Yeah.
Zizi's cam was like off. So I don't
So
know what the fuck I just
So,
walked
Jess, it's
into.
so literally when you joined the call, when I joined them, they had the red lights too, and I made a comment about it, and they were like, he was like literally showing on his phone he could change the lights. So, like, I agree, it was weird because when I walked in, I was like, why are the lights red?
but I don't think it's like a traitor meeting.
I
think
mean,
you're the
Jamie,
third
you're
traitor.
also sitting
I've
here
been
not
walking the
on
red lights.
Not
camera
on
after you
camera.
just potentially got recruited.
Oh my God, let me go get my lights on and get a shirt on then.
He has
Like,
to find the
if
red
they
lights to
started with
poison us
two
all.
traitors and then there's a
But here's the thing:
recruit,
why would they make the conversion task something most of us couldn't do?
that was some crazy shit. That was some crazy shit.
Is it
What
okay
do
if
you
I
have?
start
Oh,
up to
Yeah,
maybe
I got a
take-
shirt on now. Are we good? Like,
Is it okay if
I
I
mean, Jamie, you also might not know
I
that you're recruited until tonight in the turret, baby.
I
okay.
did have a nightmare that Jamie fucking murdered
Oh my God,
me.
Maddie,
You
not with
cannot
said
making
this.
this up. It was,
Scott
I'm
did.
not even kidding with that fucking scary face he made on call.
I
That
want to know
Say
Scooter's
he wanted to
thoughts.
say something
Can
too.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
My microphone was like changed to
It's
okay. I've
it's
been trying to
it's
talk.
echoey, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. I might need to put my AirPods on if it echoes bad.
It's not
Yeah.
like
I
echo
mean, I
echo. It's
have
like
like
it's like
literally
you're
the
like in
lights
a
are still
hill.
on. I just have lights on my
Your
desk.
lights were not like this. Your lights
Well,
were not like
I
this.
turned my overhead light on because I got food and I got a drink and stuff, and so I wanted to be able for everyone to see me.
I mean,
Um,
I personally I also did look at y'all's lists and stuff after that because I was like, what the fuck did I just see? Is Jamie about to die or did Jamie get recruited? Y'all have almost the same fucking lists, and the people that are on all your lists are people that I'm not suspicious of. It's your Wesley, it's your Hales, it's your Jodely, people that I feel like keep trying to be pushed.
Jodely is not on my suspect list.
Right. You guys had one different one. One of you guys had I don't even remember at this point, but you guys had one different
I
one.
had Caitlin. I'm not sure about her anymore though.
I'm just saying it was some weird
so
ass
whenever I
shit.
pinged you guys so we could join, at one point I saw you and it was you and Cindy and Jamie and who was the other person? There was five, and then yeah, so Zizi and I were like, hey, like let's see if you guys can go to a different room so we can join. And then I just never paid attention to my rooms that you guys went somewhere else, and then Jamie joined. So then we were just
Oh,
talking with Jamie.
I'm calling this the red light district from now on. This is too funny.
That's insane.
That's what I'm calling your turret.
I mean, I guess we won't know if this theory is correct unless we banish one of them and they flip
I don't
it.
know how just literally having two people finding something in common that we both have
I
red lights in
literally
our
always
space
have red
is
lights on
Can
what
I
people
see
want
the
to.
red
new to
light, Scooter? Or
traitors.
can
Yeah,
I? Yeah, can I?
look, it's literally look. I have it along my
How?
desk. My desk is a
So you
mess.
turned your light off, so you were glowing, and
It was as
So
red as Zizi's is right now.
I
No,
want to
look,
get to
look. I'll show
Buck.
you what it was. I just
The
So
only other sus thing that
that's
Scooter
it. That's what I got. And I
Scooter
turned my
did
lights
actually
on so
today
you guys could actually see me better for the freaking round
is
table.
saving Katie.
Guys, can I interrupt?
Katie.
This feels a little silly. I'm sorry. Love
It
you
feels
all.
silly to me too, but I don't
Gluck
want
has
to.
wanted to say something for a
Yes,
while
it's a
too.
Gluck.
I want to
Yeah.
turn to him.
If you want to say something, Gluck, you can, my friend.
Gluck's
Perfect.
your
I just
mic.
don't like to interrupt. It's not who I am, so I appreciate y'all giving me my turn to talk. I just want to. The only proof we really have right now and stuff we can physically work from is the challenge. I do think it was weird that I went 3 in a row, and I do want to preface that we know that traders and faithfuls have some sort of banking task, some sort of role, or something that they have to complete in both of the challenges. Um, Whether that was knocking someone out like me in the first round, or just getting me out, getting someone out. Um, I don't know exactly what it incorporates, but I do want to focus more on the challenge and what we can learn from what
you know what?
happened today.
Yeah.
You know what's
I
kind of crazy about that? I just want to say that real quick. Is because of the red light theory, ZZ took you out, Gluck, and then Scooter saved Katie, and I
And
am sus
did.
of Katie.
um
So
Yeah, the
I
saving Katie, no, like, ooh.
yeah. I think I want to bring something up because I am directly kind of tangentially responsible because I was one of the ones who took away Gluck's points. I think we're calling it points. Where are we calling it? Points? I'm calling it points. And honestly, I think I was the first person to take that away, and that was nothing out of pure pettiness because I was eliminated first. I was a little bit salty. So my reasoning for that. I whatever happened afterwards to cause people to want to throw their target on Gluck, I'm not entirely sure, but I just want to be honest with my reasoning. I felt like I was honest with that initially as well. I think I was the first person who admitted that I just voted for Gluck because I was petty. So straight up.
I also voted for Gluck because I was petty.
Why?
I was at work and I just sent a GIF in the chat and then it was like, can we not send GIFs while I'm doing the thing? Thank you. And then I got pinged in my prod chat, so I just said Gluck.
That makes sense.
I didn't
Part
even really pay attention to the fact that he got taken from twice in a row before either.
It was just so like
part of
one after
me
the
wonders
other,
if all
and
the
then
traders had to try to be safe, so it was like, oh, here's Gluck's opportunity. Let's at least
right.
try to get Katie a shield.
Katie
I
had
mean,
one. Everyone was on call talking about how sus Katie was. Katie had 1 point. People did not want Katie to be safe. This is no shade on to you, Katie. This was just during the call. And then immediately just like gluck, 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 like one, two, three.
and then bam, Katie
But
gets saved. It was just kind of like too convenient. I don't know.
I mean, looking at the people who did take from Glock, I think at this point we know it's Ali, Brandon, and Zizi. None of the three of them were on the call to hear that conversation. However, whoever took from Katie, maybe that's a different. Who do we know who saved Katie?
I saved Katie.
Oh, and he wasn't on the call either.
So
So, like, I
who?
feel like that
I just saved Katie because, like I said, I don't know
because she
anybody.
asked.
I never, well, I had
Yeah.
already saved her before she
Mhm.
asked. But I mean, even if she would have asked, like I was just trying to make friends because I don't know anybody on here. And
Yeah.
and then I immediately got taken out by back to backs also. So
So
like
bad. Oh, that's tea. So
by
bad.
Zach and Wes, they took me out back to back. So and I was like the next person out after Katie, I think.
I've
Or
explained my logic there. There was me, you, and like a few other people. Like you were the one I had least connected with that also had two. And my logic was, this is an odd number, so I was at work. I couldn't pay too much attention. I want to pick someone else who has
Oh,
two, so they could down to one and be the next odd number, or be
although
the
while we're
next
still on the challenge,
even number.
sorry,
Yeah, you get it.
while we're still on the challenge, is this now the time to also bring out like inconsistencies with people's behavior in the day of the challenge to today?
Sure.
Go for it.
Sickening. Sickening. Let me control F a few things. Uh, let's see. I'll read them out. Sorry. I am not a lawyer, so I didn't have my paralegal prep things beforehand. But okay, here we are. Uh, I had good vibes from you, Jamie. I don't think you're a traitor. I'm just surprised. Jamie just out here trying to take everyone's last one. Do you think Jamie is trying some traitor on traitor crime? I've got beef with Jamie. Jamie, your logic is flawed. What's your thoughts? Jamie, what does that mean? Jamie, you're deflecting and not building makes me feel like you are sus. Do you want to hunt traitors, Jamie? And then cut to today of my number one suspicion is Jodalie. And according to their suspicion, I think Jodalie is suspicious because Jamie defended them. So if we're going to talk about inconsistencies, I want to start with Topher
I said my
because
number one suspicion was Jamie. That was the first name I mentioned
that,
when I woke up this morning.
Yeah,
And I
I would,
fought with Jamie all through the night and was
yeah,
finally like over it.
I can vouch for
so
that.
I
They
can vouch
literally
for
fought
that
like
because I was
nonstop.
I was also there at 6 in the morning when we were like, good morning, and then jumping straight into it.
Yeah.
So
but
No,
I
I remember
is
jumping
it
off and on, and I remember it. I'm gonna exaggerate this a lot, but y'all were basically cursing each other off, and I go off and get there to go on. You're still cursing each other, and I go off. Y'all fought. So yeah,
but
that
yeah,
tracks.
I do just want to bring up the fact that I believe in mending fences and thumbs up, great job. But I do also believe it would be convenient for a trader to overreact when they think their place in the challenge is being threatened. And then they lose, and all of a sudden, okay, I just made a big target of myself. Let me go to the person who I just accused and it didn't work and make up with them. And then let me get to the table and target the person I see as their number one, because you did say that Jamie is protective of me. And did that have a part in you coming here and saying that I'm a traitor today because you want to still
No.
target us?
I talked to a couple
No.
people today and I agreed to not bring up the same thing that me and Jamie had fought about all day yesterday. Like that was literally asked of me to like just like we've already heard that and we don't want to waste our roundtable time discussing that. I also don't think that me and Jamie have really like made good with the exception of like a quick phone call of like being like I really don't want to be at odds with you all the time and we like laughed because we agreed on something. But no, I mean I said Jamie was my number one sus. I think that if the Traitors had a task, Jamie was on call most of the time. I felt like Jamie was pushing that agenda. So yeah, I mean, that's where my susses come in for Jamie. And then I was corrected that it wasn't Jamie's idea to begin with, it was Maddie's idea. And so once I had that information, I kind of just stepped back, but I still accused Jamie first thing this morning. Like
But I think
it's not been I've not been off of Jamie. It just people don't want to hear it anymore.
But I think it is also convenient. I think a faithful, their intention should be if I think this person is a traitor, I'm going to stand behind that and bring that up. And I think the fact that the reason why you aren't suggesting his name at the table is only because, oh, other players don't want me to say it. So I'm not going to go after a traitor. I think a player I think is a traitor. I think that's kind of against course,
No,
right?
I think that like I 100% think that Jamie's a traitor. I've not thought that Jamie is a traitor, but I've dropped it at the pressure of other people being like, we don't want to hear this same argument happen again. Do we want to get back
Can
into
we
the argument of me versus Jamie over whether or not Jamie may have had a task to lead this whole thing? You know, like there were several
can we
people
open
on
up?
call, but Jamie was the only one on call all day long. So Jamie had the most sway. Now, I felt burned by Jamie because I thought that I was in line to be safe and I wasn't. I didn't get saved. And then Jamie immediately is like, I want to target all the not safe people. So it's not. We just decided to not rehash this because I've been a part of conversations today, Jodalee. Like that's how that's worked. The all day today was a round table. That's what we've discussed as like group conscience. So I've already been there. We've already beaten this dead horse. I don't want to beat this dead horse anymore. It's not that I think any less of Jamie, but fuck, I got to think of other people and to have other conversations that I feel are sus and listen to other people. I'm
Who
open-minded.
are
I'm
these
listening.
who are these other people who are telling you not to go after Jamie even if you think he's a traitor? Who told you not to do that?
Oh, I didn't say that, but I told him like let's not bring up the whole fight thing because we're gonna waste fucking time when you guys argued for six
I
hours in one day.
I want to hear it from him because he was saying we are like it sounds like it was multiple people. So Topher, who do you think was telling you don't bring up Jamie's name anymore? Who's we?
No, I've just been on like group calls with people. I've been on calls that Sanam was there during calls, Hales was there during calls today, Ali was there during calls today. It's like it's just it's over and over again. It was kind of like a people are overhearing that. I don't need
So
to
those are the
reiterate my
so
like
those so those are the people who are telling you don't bring up Jamie. Sanam,
not telling me
Maddie.
not to bring up Jamie. It's
Then
saying
who's
to
telling you
not
not to bring up
waste our
Jamie?
roundtable on an accusation that I have already made. It's already there. Everybody thinks Jamie. Every time that it's been brought up of like, hey, we're talking about the fact that hey, there's people that
Mm,
may have controlled this. I was like,
I saw it's
that's to my
okay.
point of bringing up Jamie. That's what I was saying. Like my point has been made when it comes to Jamie. Like that's
This is a waste of time. Like this has been happening like all last night, and now it's being rehashed today, right after we brought up this whole suspicious thing that happened with ZZ and Scooter. This is what happens at roundtables.
so yeah,
What,
Like
it
like?
feels
they're
like a
trying to get
deflection,
more people
totally.
But
to fucking fight with each
I
other so
think
that they can
Gluck
sit back and then kill somebody tonight.
Yeah.
I think Gluck wanted to finish his actual thought, which got derailed, but also I don't think if Katie's here, she's had a chance to say anything yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I do have something I want to say, but I'll let Gluck go first.
No, I'm gonna let Katie talk because I feel like she should, as someone that hasn't spoken yet. So I'm gonna give her the opportunity before, if I get another chance.
I appreciate that because it's coming back to the challenge that somehow I had control over when I didn't. I didn't have control over saving myself. I was not on a call. I was at work. I was trying to be as present as possible during that challenge. Like it's really fucked to do a challenge at that time of day but I know everyone has different schedules and everyone's available at different times. And I know that, and I'm just going to say, even though Michael, you said it was no shade, but the fact that you're saying no one wanted me to be safe makes me just feel like you just want looked at me as someone easy to get rid of because I don't know a lot of people here and a lot of you all know each other. And that's like really frustrating because it's also like, I think a lot of why it's like gone on hails and things like that. So I'm just like, I'm to the point of
No, but don't
frustration.
make it
I'm
personal
not
though.
trying to get frustrated
Don't
because I
do
know
that.
it's a game. I know, no, it's
Yeah.
a game. I get
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just like, I'm not like
Hmm.
upset. I'm just like, I'm just frustrated and I get it. It's a game and I get it
Yeah.
if you want to banish me, but I have the people that I've tried to talk to and I've had conversations with, I have said when I applied for this game, I literally said I wanted to be a faithful. I don't think I'm doing a good job of it, but I did want to be a faithful because I'm not a good liar. I'm usually better at sussing out liars, but you guys are really fucking good. I don't have a fucking clue which one of you is a traitor at all. I'm so lost. I still don't know who I'm voting for. I literally don't. But
Yeah, and I
I
apologize if
don't
that
want to
was like a
go. Like I
personal
want a
thing
chance to
too.
play this game
But
because I'm trying, but I don't know how to take the suspicion off of me because people are just taking like little things and just I can't force people to listen to me, especially when I'm also not going to be the type of person like I'm talking because other people are saying I'm not talking because I'm not going to jump in because this is just you guys have much bigger personalities than me and like that's no shade. I get it. Like that's fine, but apparently my personality is maybe not good for this game, but I'm still not going to give up. I want to be here. And I am a faithful and I want to find which one of you fuckers is lying.
Yeah. If I know I've been trying to bring this up for a little bit. I know all of y'all have been talking and I'm not like one to intrude, but I want to kind of circle back to the trust. Like the our three targets, if that makes any sense. And I was kind of looking over those. Thank you, Sanam, for putting that in the spreadsheet. Appreciate it a lot. Um, there was I was kind of looking over them and like some made sense, some were like names that I've heard around before. Some like throw suspicions here and there and whatnot, but usually they make sense. There was, and maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe there's like, again, I'm dumb as shit. Sometimes I read things wrong, but there was one that I just want a little bit more clarification on, and that's Zach. Um, this is not you saying my name at all, although I am very confused about the reasoning for that because I felt like I wasn't confrontational. If I was, I'm sorry. But I felt like a lot of your previous points were just regurgitated from stuff people have said before.
So this, I feel like I was one of the first people to even talk about the Wesley thing for my reasoning. And then Jamie, it wasn't until today that I've heard other people say his say that he was suspicious because the narrative that I've been seeing is I feel like everyone is automatically thinking that Jamie is a faithful just based off of no traitor would act this way. No traitor would be blatant, and this is also what he has said as well. Is he's saying if I'm a traitor, I would never fucking do this and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, like that. I feel like that's just a prime position for a traitor to be in, and so I don't know where you're getting the regurgitated part or anything like that. But the part where I said you, for instance, I feel like I guess I didn't word it correctly because it felt like within whatever argument was had yesterday, day for whatever, that night, um, it just felt like you weren't making any full points. It just felt like you were jumping onto like someone's bandwagon in a sense, trying to back someone um, just to get traction,
No,
which
I understand. I understand what you mean by that, and I
yeah,
just I
but
want to jump in and clarify that as well because again, this is the first time I'm playing like
yeah,
a Traitors long game. My initial fear, and I think Jamie, Topher, Maddie, y'all were on call for this. I was just worried that that was going to be a consistent thing moving forward.
yeah, yeah.
And I have a survivor brain; it just kind of moves like that. So that was just really a clarification on my end regarding stuff. I understood the strategy Jamie was going for, and I was very obvious. I was very open where I understood that. There was a little fear, and I just wanted some clarification that that was mostly it. It wasn't me like trying
Okay,
to hop onto anyone's bandwagon. I just want clarification in regards of that whole
yeah.
situation because that was really it.
And also, this is also because out of everyone here, like I know the least about you, so that was also something where I'm going to be more suspicious of that because I just don't really know your personality or like how you play. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, part of that too.
No, I think that's completely understandable. Like, I don't know most of y'all. I'm gonna be honest about that. So I think there's at least a little bit that known. But Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because that was something that confused me a lot, and I just at least wanted to talk to you about that because I know we didn't really have that conversation one-on-one, and I at least wanted to bring it up here because it was something that was
Yeah,
bothering me.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I know Jamie was raising their hand.
So like there's been a lot of discussion about me in the last little bit. I don't think that anything that's been said about me when I leave and I'm a faithful is going to be helpful for you all going forward because you're going to be going after someone who's been loud and saying things for you guys to do. And if you're going to banish people for that, I think that's just going to set a very dangerous precedent that anyone who is loud and is faithful is suspicious and is going to be sent home for it. So I think when you're casting your vote here, really think like, hey, like, what is the precedent and what is the way I want this game to be played? Do I want people to hide back and not say things, or do I want people to at least be open? And I can critique them and have thoughts. And at the end of the game, do you want kind of me sitting there with someone you have a long history and a lot to look back on and make a decision on, or someone who you feel like there's not a lot of history to go back and read on and make a proper educated decision on. That's assuming I get to the end of the game. I don't think that's my path, but just the hypothetical. Do you want a person whose history you have or someone who has been quiet and kind of you don't know what they're thinking? So I think that's a really important thing for you all to think of as you vote and you think about.
So are you saying that tonight we should be focused more on the people who aren't uh,
I'm
contributing,
s- I'm
basically?
saying you vote how you want to vote, but like I think I'm going to be looking at someone who's quieter, I think isn't giving strong opinions. And later on in the game, I'm going to have a harder time reading because there isn't a lot to look back on. And
Okay.
so that's important for me in terms of how I play this game. Right now, I don't have very, very strong trader reads. Like, like I have like kind of like, ooh, that's weird, that's weird, that's weird. But I think as we kind of can look at these votes and look at sort of someone's role reveal, I might have stronger reads. But as of right now, it's sort of who can I read and who can I feel like is kind of sus here and like is worth a vote on.
Sure. No, I hear you.
Can I like ask about like what people's suspicions are on me right now because I see a lot of it going on in the chat, but no one's like unmuting and saying their piece. And I would like the opportunity to at least like try to defend myself right now.
I mean,
So,
we all just said it. I brought up the whole thing. Other people have brought up how you're like more of a dominant player, like myself, and like you've been taking a little bit more of like a back seat, like sitting and like lurking on
yeah.
calls and such. There's also the discrepancy of like everybody's like sus on Allie, but the real reason people are sus on Allie is because of the ZZ votes on their list.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like several pieces of information, in my opinion.
And then the Gluck thing.
And then the
So,
Gluck thing.
yeah.
So I think that, like, on first thought, your original defense of for voting for Gluck was because the gift. But like to me, it almost read as like too perfect of an excuse to stack on somebody.
I guess in my defense on that, the Gluck thing I'm saying is 100% true. I can be like kind of a reactive person, and I was in the middle of work, and I just lost my, I wouldn't say lost my cool because I didn't like blow up on him or anything, but yeah, I got annoyed, and I don't like passive aggressive shit. And then I got pinged to go in the challenge, so I was like, okay, shit, bye Gluck. And secondly, I have no idea why the fuck Allie picked me twice in a row in that challenge. I really don't. Like, I picked Jodely to have safety because I get better, I guess, reads on Jodely being a faithful. Not saying I'm sus on Allie, but I don't know why Allie saved me twice. I mean, I wish I had like more to say on that, but like that's genuinely where I'm at.
Then who are you sus of and why?
I was sus on Wesley in the beginning, especially night one, because when we were on the calls, he would just leave every 5 minutes and just be like, I'm gonna go, and then hop out the damn call. And then he'd be like, I'm gonna go spy on the other chats. I'm gonna go in the other chats. And that did weird me out. I'm not gonna lie. And then the next day, all the shit during the challenge. Another person I was suspect of was Caitlin because I mean, I do see an inactive person or somebody more quiet being a traitor and just floating by because they're just never fucking there. And also during the challenge when it took her forever to type in the fucking chat and she couldn't just give her opinions. And also today, even with her sus list, she didn't really give any like reasons that I saw. It was just like a short thing. And then Hales was my other suspect because of the thing with Michael where it looked like people were kind of like I didn't even know if people were being serious when they were throwing out Michael's name, but then it looked like Hales was kind of pushing it a little bit. So that I don't know, made me look at them kind of sideways. Okay, sorry. Those are the names that I've said since early this morning, like 7 a.m. Or wait, no, that wasn't I sent it midday through work, my bad. But those are the names I've had. So I don't know what else to tell you. Sorry. And also, I feel like a lot of my like dominant reputation definitely comes from Cutthroat because I played Cutthroat very differently than I've played most games. So that's another thing that I would like to put a tack in, I guess.
So time is
But
running out, so I'm going to interrupt you a little bit. But basically, I want to defend myself a little bit from the call thing. I admit I think one, the fact that I was announcing it is actually kind of a faithful behavior, like letting you know what I was doing, so it would be really shady. And two, a lot of the leaving the call, I'm gonna be honest with me being like wanting to take a break from the call, but not like knowing how to do it in a way without like just because I do get socially drained from like all these calls. And in a game like this, where it's not where like I feel like most call games are mostly like one-on-ones with scheduling calls and like not a chat going 24/7. That's a little bit better for me. So I just kind of needed a break from the game a little bit, like watch some YouTube or something like that. And also when I looked at the other calls, I was trying to see if I could get you any information to kind of show like I'm willing to like give you some stuff about like what's going on here. I mean, checking the chat is like something everyone does, I think, very much. Like you should be looking at all the info you can. Like I'm faithful here. I will show you what faithfulness with the card and all that. I could do whatever you want me to do. I could do whatever you want me to say. I was trying to analyze here, and like, why would the fuck would they pick me as a traitor?
Well, I just want to also, sorry, I was taking a really long piss. I
Oh,
also want to come to ZZ's defense a little bit, where she can be very petty. She literally voted out someone because he spoiled Love Island for her. Yeah, I believe. So
valid. Oh my
Yeah, to be
God,
honest, that's valid as
valid.
fuck.
her making that move 100% aligns with her personality. So
Listen, I kind of live for that, not gonna lie. But I just want to go back to what, and fuck, I'm so bad with names. I think Scooter said it, I think Katie said it. Like, I'm also new to this community. And so I feel like it's a double-edged sword, right? I don't know any of you. I could sit here and be like, "Oh, I'm sus on this person because I feel like they're cozying up to their friend and like that's the reason." But I was trying to formulate thoughts in my head based on coming into this game and playing it. To be honest, I came in knowing I'm new, so that's going to be a disservice to me as well because you don't know how I play and I don't know how you play. So I'm getting a read on you and the game at the same time. So if I'm not immediately in chat when someone's like, "Hey, Hills, what's your thought?" And I literally was like, "I'm at work from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. or 4 p.m. CST every Monday through Friday, and I've been on me, right? I've been addicted to this game and ignoring my job a little bit because I was like, I'm being pinged. I felt this pressure to answer because if I leave my phone on silent, then I'm sus. So you want me to answer, but then when I answer and defend myself, I'm also sus. So I just want to throw out there, like,
Mhm.
you can't have it both ways. Do you want me to answer you immediately or not at all? Because either way, I look sus apparently. So
And it's also a good thing about these roundtables, you can kind of assess like because it's hard when we're not all gathered to like okay, this is the name I see doing these actions. Now that I'm actually looking them dead in their eyes, is this genuine or is this a put on? You know? So I think after this first round table, whoever makes it past it will have a better chance of like, okay, this is just how someone is. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's just a round
Mhm.
one thing.
When does he fuck? What are the rules for like? Is it like after an hour? Because we've been here for an hour.
Okay, then if we're rounding up on time, then last thing,
I
because it's been brought up in the
oh
chat,
fuck.
what do we make about Caitlyn? What are we gonna do about Caitlyn? Just to
I'm
vocalize,
still sus
like,
on her, no shade.
It's also like if she's not sus, she's not
The
useful.
Roundtable also pointed at people's says, so really think about what people said and like how it made you feel personally, honestly.
All right, guys,
mm,
and with that, it's
yeah.
11:33. It's been 1
Like really
hour.
think.
It is time now to go in your pod chats and vote at production. Remember, you cannot change it. I also want to remind you, your vote order will be randomized. Who reveals their vote? I will announce who you vote. You will give your reason if you want to. That will go to the next person. The person that gets banished tonight, you will have a few moments to say your goodbyes and then reveal your row and immediately leave the call. So just giving you a heads up, go on and vote. And you can talk if you want, just not about the voter game.
Do you read our reasonings we type or do we just say it on the Zoom?
You'll say it on the Zoom.
Okay.
Y'all vote fast. I'm trying to go to bed.
So the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is the most incredible television that exists in the history of television. And if
Mhm.
you do not watch this, you are insane. You need to, these ladies commit actual crimes. Like it is
I mean, someone got actually arrested one season for
Mo-
their entire this being wealthy, frauding the elderly.
Mother Jen, that's mother.
I'm saying. Hopefully she comes
And
back for
they
season
fucking
7.
brought on as a friend of, I think, the woman
Reality
who ran her out.
bosses.
Yeah. It's
Mm-mm.
literally like it is a rabbit hole. I never watched Housewives prior to Salt Lake City. Now I'm kind of like into it, but like I was just, oh my God.
To
I'm
be
like
fair, I've heard vaguely that
this is the
basically
most
all wealth
amazing.
in that area is kind of fake and like
Yeah.
illegal, probably like
The last
MLN at best.
the last night's episode was really good. So,
Wait, is that the show where one of the cast members was like literally arrested? Or am I
Yes,
thinking of a different
One,
one? Like she
Jen
was like,
Shaw.
yeah, she got
yeah,
arrested
yeah,
during the season, like
yeah.
when they were like
She's
walking
on
to
it.
their like the
and then
production
they
was taking them
filmed
in
the
the van.
season.
She got arrested. Like they were at her house when she was like in the vans, and what's funny, they started thinking of like who told the authority, who like told the authorities where she was. Like Bravo did. They called Bravo. Like
Anyone watch
Girl,
Beverly
you
Hills?
committed felonies. Bravo's like, hey, bitch is here.
My friend said that
like I
Erica Jane
think
should
I
be in
mean,
jail.
and it was like conning the elderly out of millions felonies.
Not Erica Jane. Yeah, my friend was like, Erica Jane should be in jail.
I mean, Erica Jane's more borderline in that was her husband's thing, and like she got money from it, so it's hard to know how much she knew.
You see
Jen
$3 million
Shaw, it
going
was
into
her
your
business.
account.
I don't know. Like I worked for a restaurant once where our manager was apparently in like heaps of debt with like casinos, and the night he
Oh,
stole all the money from the registers, I was like, it was like my second day on the job as like a receptionist or like a front desk person.
oh my, that's terrifying.
So I was like checking people in for their meals, and the cops were like, "Can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Shit, I watch true crime. Do I say yes? Do I ask for a lawyer? Do I like call my parents?" And then the owner came up and he's like, "Okay, like let's like there's a thing going on. Like they're talking to everyone." Because immediately I was like, "Fuck, what the heck? I don't even know." Because they're like, "Was he acting
Right.
weird?" I'm like, "I don't know. This is my like second night."
That's terrifying.
I have no read on this guy. He was my manager for 2 days.
Honestly, invite him to play Traitors. Get him in here.
I mean, he's not that good at it if he
No,
got caught.
he stole the money and then he ran. He tried to run, and then his wife was like, "I'm done with this shit." He went over here. Like his wife was like such a quick flip. I was like, "Damn, dude."
Honestly, considering how clueless I feel as a faithful, give me a craft trader. I'm here for it. He can play.
Mm-mm.
I mean, there is a thing of like when you have these people do illegal. What's funny about the Jen Salt thing is that she did not need to do that shit for her livelihood. Her husband was making like 400,000 off of assistant college football coach job. She didn't need to do that.
I just love Lisa Barlow with her crazy distance. I want to go the distance. I am being accused of things that I did not do.
Was she the one
And
who
it
was
was
trying?
things
Meredith
she
Marks
did
is my
too.
favorite housewife.
And it was also fun fact, not fun fact, I will point out that Mary is definitely committing tax fraud. Like almost certainly it's just impossible for them to investigate it because she's a church. Like you don't have that nice of a house as a church leader without fraud.
Drag the church leaders.
I mean,
Jamie, who's your dog voting for?
Like you're not the leader of one church
Mm.
and
What?
like you live in a
I thought
goddamn mansion with like your room
Jamie,
stacked with designer purses.
who's your dog voting for?
My dog's voting for me because he wants to go for a WAOK. I said no.
yeah, he's like
Wow.
your dog is like
Maddie, is that face gonna
I
haunt
was
you?
oh I would
No,
that Snoot.
it doesn't.
Some of y'all taking a real long time to cast your votes.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
It's spelled JAMIE.
Caitlin's still thinking.
Stop.
Stop.
Trying to
She's
chase
thinking it
Caitlin down
over.
for the vote. Caitlin's not
Couple
casting
of kiss-
the vote yet.
Actually, do we know what happens if someone just doesn't vote? Is it a
Self vote.
They said it was a self vote, I think.
Yeah, so if you weren't gonna be here
Jesus.
tonight, you had to pre-vote, and then if you were like, oopsie, forgot to pre-vote, it's hashtag yourself.
I did actually
Hashtag.
like, even though I knew I was going to be here, I pre-voted to be like, I don't know if I'm gonna get adopted by aliens or anything like that. Why not?
They just want to remind
Reintroduction
everyone.
is possible.
Do you guys
If
think
you
that
watch
All right, players, we have the vote. Like I said, when I say your name, I will announce who you voted. You will then have a moment to give your reasoning why you voted that way. First up, we have is Jamie.
Oh
Jamie
my
voted
gosh.
for Caitlin. Jamie.
Yeah, I just think that Caitlin's not here. As the game goes on, I don't want Caitlin to be making big decisions for the faithful if there's like swing votes and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, next we have is Jess. Jess voted for ZZ. Jess.
I actually wasn't doing this before that'll happen. So I said, I think the call with Scooter was odd timing with the lights matching right after your one-on-one. Jamie being either poisoned or recruited. It felt like a traitor task to me. Switching those lights off when you joined the bigger group majorly indicated to me that it was a task. I wasn't as on you for the Gluck and Alley stuff until then, but now it feels like too much is pointing in that direction, and this will get us the most information to go off of.
All right, next we have is Mike. Mike voted for ZZ. Mike.
Yeah, so I feel bad that I did this because, I really like you, but at the same time, I think there were a lot of different signs that pointed to you being a traitor, given the call, the Gluck thing as well, and then the whole alley thing as well. I think there were a bunch of little different signs that kind of accumulated. So that's why I voted that way.
All right, next we have is Katie. Katie voted for Jodalee. Katie.
I just genuinely don't have a clue what's going on, but just I was sus of you, and I just felt like things you said today just didn't really help that. But it's nothing personal. I don't think you're going anyway. I just really didn't know where to go with my vote, honestly.
It's okay.
Next we have is Keaton. Keaton is not here, but Keaton left a pre-vote. He pre-voted Zach. Next we have is Zach. Zach voted for Caitlin. Zach.
So I voted for Caitlin tonight. Just and my reasoning because everyone else was able to defend themselves, and I didn't really hear anything from her tonight. So that's why I'm voting her.
All right, next we have is Scooter. Scooter voted for Hales. Scooter.
I just voted for Hales because kind of what I outlined earlier today, and it hadn't changed that Hales kept saying she was busy at work and doesn't have time for all this, but at least yesterday, every single call I ever joined, Hales was in as well, no matter what time of day it was. And it just things that add up during that.
All right, next we have is Caitlin. Caitlin is not here. Caitlin did pre-vote.
Sorry,
Caitlin
they.
pre-voted. Oh, you're good. Yes. Caitlin pre-voted Hales. Next we have is Sanam. Sanam voted. Allie, Sanam.
Yeah, I think that Allie's had some good answers to the questions. I just don't really know what to do. I have like light suspicion elsewhere, but I felt like for me, voting for Allie would elucidate a lot of the things about like the suspicion around ZZ, the suspicion around Jodie that I'm hearing from myself and from others. And I just don't understand if it was based off memory, how two people you're close with were left off, and how like I was on the list. If it was based off of calls or chats, it would have had my name and I wasn't on calls.
All right, next we have is Jodie. Jodie voted for Topher. Jodie.
Yeah, I really appreciated having this roundtable to really flesh out, thoughts that I had in my head. At the end of the day, I think for me, I understand like my metric as to the most harmful thing a faithful can do. And I think the most harmful thing a faithful could do is to not go for traitors. And I wasn't convinced that Topher's motivations in this roundtable were not. I feel like he was trying to please the group more than he was hunt a traitor. And I think the only person that would benefit from that is a traitor trying to please the group. So had to follow my gut. Pieces.
All right, next we have is Maddie. Maddie voted for ZZ. Maddie.
I think after listening to the round table, there's too many coincidences with ZZ coming to light. I mean, I know it's going pretty fast, but I think round table we should all be open-minded to what is said in here because it does bring up stuff that you might not catch earlier on in the day.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Next we have is Evan. Evan voted for Hales. Evan.
I gave my reasoning before in the chats. I'm gladly to bump it, and I told a lot of you guys that's where I'm at with them, so that's where I voted.
All right, next we have is Cindy. Cindy voted for Caitlin. Did he?
Yeah, I voted for Caitlyn. I feel like she has just not been around at all, and whether she is a traitor hiding in the shadows or a bad faithful who's just not around, either way, it's not helpful to us. And I even said earlier today, if she wasn't at the round table to be able to give her thoughts and defend herself, I was gonna vote for her.
All right, next we have is Allie. Allie voted for ZZ. Allie.
There were just too many coincidences, and shit's leading back to me now because of it. So I was like, gotta do what I gotta do. And I had to trust my gut.
All right, next we have is Hales. Hales voted for Caitlin. Hales.
Um, yeah, just even if like other people were saying like if she is a faithful and she's not contributing, then that's not going to help at all. But also for me, I'm like I've been trying to like put my best foot forward and be a team player and it came off wrong, I guess. But I feel like she was given ample opportunity to speak up and request calls and defend herself and she didn't. So like that susses me, right? Like if you're gonna be in this game, you should fight for yourself if you're faithful, right? Like it's just sus to me that that didn't happen.
All right, next we have is Gluck. Gluck voted for Scooter. Gluck.
I meant to self vote because I wanted to be the petty one this time around. No, just kidding. I've been thinking about this all day. I voted for Scooter, and I have a little bit of a speech because I didn't hear enough from what I wanted to. Um, I viewed it sus that you decided to save Katie, claiming you're looking for an ally when we aren't playing a game that would matter. I feel like that would just trying to suss faithful into trusting you. And I did say that I was sus of Scooter yesterday, and I'm sticking with that.
All right, next we have is Brandon. Brandon voted for Scooter. Brandon.
I think I'll just start off with saying when I posted my three, Scooter was on that list. We had talked about that before, and I know we've had a conversation about that. I think with the three that I brought up, I'm the least sh well, I'm with the most sure that Caitlyn is probably just a bad faithful, honestly. And for me, as much as that annoys me, I want to trust my gut to see if I can snuff out a traitor. And between the two, you just give me more traitor vibes. And if I don't make it tomorrow morning because I get shanked at night, I would rather want to know I went out with my gut. So that's why I vote for you.
All right, next we have is Topher. Topher voted for Jodalee. Topher.
I am voting for the person that I think is a traitor, was not swayed by anybody else to do so, because I am thinking for myself and taking in everything that I have. And I think, Jodalee, you hid in the shadows and you waited till the last minute, till then you can make a accusation against Wesley, who is sort of I, it's just, it was not a big reveal, in my opinion. And then once I started challenging you and putting pressure on you, then you started to say, oh, let me try to find inconsistencies in what I've done, which has not been anything inconsistent as far as my attacks on Jamie had gone. So I had already spoke my piece about Jamie. I didn't need to convince anybody else anything more about Jamie. I know where Jamie stands, whether Jamie's a traitor or not. I don't know where you stand, Jodalee, because you don't speak up.
All right, next we have is ZZ. ZZ voted for Wesley. ZZ.
You were the person who I already was thinking about voting for coming into Roundtable, and I feel like at this Roundtable, a lot of my energy was going towards defending myself, and I didn't really get enough time to, I guess, take in new evidence, but I still see you as the top of my suspect list, but I don't know how I'm gonna feel tomorrow. So there you go. Sorry.
And lastly, we have Wesley, and Wesley has voted for Caitlyn. Wesley.
I just kind of went with kind of the person who seemed like even if they aren't a traitor, we're not losing anything important. We're not losing anyone who's been contributing anything. So I think at this point it was just easier to get rid of the mystery box because I just wasn't sure about like all the conflicting information. I was kind of overwhelmed here. The light seemed like a weird flight of fancy almost. I don't know why. That just didn't line up to me. So I just went with my gut and just went with what I was going with kind of initially.
All right, and with that, with a 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 2 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 vote, Caitlyn has been banished from the castle. Caitlyn is not here, so I will reveal their row. Once I reveal their row, by the way, don't go crazy because I'm going to talk for a second. Anyway, Caitlyn's row was faithful.
Okay.
Caitlyn was a faithful. So this call is going to end here in a minute. You all will have until midnight to talk. After that, it'll be lights out. Just let you know, making it shorter because I want to go to fucking bed.
You're giving us like 9 minutes.
Yes,
Midnight,
y'all will
yeah,
talk to me in the
midnight.
morning. Well, most of
Midnight
you.
where? Midnight what time zone?
Eastern
EST.
Standard.
It's 8:51
Oh,
p.m. here, Topher.
yeah, I was
You
like
guys are wasting
midnight.
your time. Stop talking. You guys are wasting